Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Greg McCloskey from ForexLive.com. Today's date is May 9th, 2024. This is the Kickstart video where I take a look at three of the major currency pairs: the euro versus US dollar, the dollar versus yen, sterling versus US dollar. So let's get started. We had the jobless claims pop to the highest level since August of 2023. We also saw the Bank of England keep their rates unchanged, but they did have two dissenters. Dissenters were voting for a easing of policy. You might think that the sterling versus US dollar would go lower. It initially did, but then has bounced back higher. So what has that done to the technicals? We'll talk about it in this video. But let's take a look at the euro versus US dollar. And when we take a look at this from the 4-hour chart perspective, the price in trading here today moved down away from the 200 bar moving average on the 4-hour chart at 1.07409. Note that yesterday the price moved below that moving average as well, but did find support against the high of this swing area. The swing area is home to a number of different swing lows through here and swing highs through here as well. More recently here, forming this big ceiling right through here before forming a floor and moving to the upside. So the ability to hold that support gave the price a little bit of a boost, but then in trading here today, we moved lower, back below the 200 bar moving average, and continued that move. And where do we bottom? At the low of the swing area, down to 1.0722. So the 22 to 34 level continues to hold support for the euro versus US dollar. We saw a rotation to the upside, helped by the rise back higher in the sterling versus US dollar after their softer vote, I guess, from the Bank of England. We'll talk about a little bit that later. And the price has since moved above this little swing area right through here that encompasses, remember, this is a 4-hour chart, about 2 weeks maybe, where we had a different number of different swing lows and swing highs through here. So we did move above the high of that swing area up through here, but have since a rebound come back a little bit more toward the middle of this range here between, again, 52 to 56. Also in play is a 38.2 and the 200 bar moving average. So if we were to look at this support area and this resistance area, and in between the 38.2 and the 200 bar moving average, the bias is tilted a little bit more to the upside here because we're above these two things and also above this swing area. We'll see if the momentum can continue in this up here and move the price back toward the key, and this is going to be key 200-day moving average and 50% retracement. Both of those levels come in near the 1.07906 level. There should be resistance up there if the price were to head that direction. Let's take a look at the dollar versus yen, and this currency pair continued its move to the upside but first fell below the 200-hour moving average right through here. That break back below that level in the early Asian session could not be maintained, and the price rotated back to the upside. However, it fell short of the 50% midpoint of the move down from our most recent high from the end of April to our low price in May. That 50% retracement comes in at the 156.029, so near the 156 level. And our high price came up short of that level, rotated back to the downside. So ultimately, it would, we would need a move above the 50% retracement to keep the momentum going in this pair. If the price were to go lower, the 200 bar moving average on the 4-hour chart would be the level of importance for sellers to get to and through and stay below that level. We tried yesterday to stay below the level here. We tried it here, but could not do that. So now the moving average is moving lower and moving further away. It's sort of flattening out a little bit, but we need to get below that level 155.25 to increase the bearish bias. Right now we're in between what is resistance above and support below, and we'll see how that all pans out going forward in the dollar versus yen. Finally, let's take a look at the sterling versus US dollar, which again has been the one with the news. Again, the Bank of England kept the rates unchanged, but they did have two dissenters who looked for a cut that initially sent the pound versus US dollar to the downside. Governor Bailey also commented that the Bank of England, or the market's perception of rate cuts for this year may be a little low, which is interesting. Usually the market over compensates for rate cuts because they're always excited. So all of that should have led to lower pound versus US dollar, just taken on the surface. But maybe the market is interpreting that if the Bank of England is more accommodative, that would spur on economic growth and lead to, well, higher inflation or stronger growth or a stronger pound. We will see, but we did see the pound move back above the 100 bar moving average on the 4-hour chart. It may also have been a technical fail, folks. The price fell below this key floor area that we've seen over the last few weeks of trading, and moving back above that level surprised the sellers and forced them to cover their position, forcing the price back up to the upside. So overall, on the top side, if the price is going to go higher, and I outlined this in my video late yesterday, the price needs to get above the cluster of these moving averages right here, also the 38.2% retracement. All that area is a key resistance target. And, we got above the 125 level to 125.10, but didn't quite reach up to the 25 level, which is a low where the 100 and 200 hour moving averages are. So, there is some reluctance on the upside and the downside here. But in between, we'll watch for the 100 bar moving average on the 4-hour chart to give us clues for the bias direction in trading for this currency pair going forward. So there is some moves in the major currency pairs today, but we still sit within ranges more or less, trying to make breaks, but some of those breaks are failing as well. So we'll see how it all pans out. My name is Greg Mikulowski. Good fortune with your trading. Bye-bye now.